Don't underestimate small, humble beginnings because they can turn out to be the greatest success stories. Today, I have a business story and a journey of a stalwart and an example for the same who had humble beginnings and now successfully runs 200 crores yearly turnover oil and natural gas organization. I, the corporate Sardar, welcomes you all to a new episode of Business Nation TV powered by the Global Business Icons. And I welcome our today's guest on this video podcast, Mr. Nanik Jeswani. He is the General Manager of Parveen Industries Private Limited. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you, Ravi.
All right. So as we begin today's session, I'll just move on for the discussion today. So, Mr. Nanik, as we talk about your journey, the story of inception of Parveen Industries dates way back to the year 1960. So, could you please tell us about how the initial beginnings were, and can you just share your 37 years of experience? How did you come into the picture for the Parveen Industries? Over to you,
Sure.
sir.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. See, Parveen Industries was started in 1960 by Shambhunath Gupta ji, the father of our director, who started with manufacturing in Delhi by the conduit pipes. You know, the steel conduit pipes used for the electric line. Those days they were very common. Nowadays it is replaced with PVC and other materials. So that was the beginning of the manufacturing industry in Parveen. Later on in 80s, we started representing the foreign companies for oil and gas supplies in India, mainly for the ONGC, Oil India, and other things. So we were representing a lot of branded companies who were selling it, and we were their license or we were their Indian part, helping them to get the business. In 80s again we started manufacturing because there was a lot of government incentives for manufacturing the local supplies, or we used to call it as import substitution or indigenization. During that we set up a shop which was small in Mumbai. We call it as a 880 square feet, and later on we started adding on and getting the support from government of India and ONGC. We started manufacturing various items. So it was one product category of the range we started with. Today we have almost 250 products we manufacture it, and they are in 10 almost different product categories for oil and gas upstream business.
All right. Okay. So, Mr. Nanik, I would just urge you to tell what exactly is done under the operations of Parveen Industries so that our viewers can engage with your story at more in-depth perspective and knowledge.
Sure. See, we have manufacturing industry, which we call it as a mechanical industry, having a lot of CNC machines. And today we have 6 plants in India and distribution almost all over the world. So all these 6 plants cater to oil and gas industry manufacturing, having latest CNC machines and other quality control equipments. Then we are the API licensees. See, in oil industry, everything is governed by the API. Like in India, we call it as ISF or electric iron and other things. In oil industry, the products are defined by the API's specification different. So we are the second in India having the API licenses, and later on we kept on adding the later various licenses here. And on the top of it now we have ISO 14001, 18001, 9001. For most of this 6 plants, we have almost 3 plants catering to all these licenses and manufacturing the products for oil industry.
All right. So, sir, when we talk about the oil industry, in the general public's mind, there goes that how what and how it regulates. How does the crude oil regulates the petrol pricing, and how it is being done globally? If you could put some light on crude oil pricing from your perspective.
Sure. See, you have seen our people, common people must have heard every time we hear petrol prices going up and sometimes it goes down. See, this is on basis of the supply and demand of the crude oil. See, if there is a demand and supply, so the prices keep on changing, and seasons also. In winter, the drilling activities are reduced, so the demand also increases and the production goes down. So everything is based on the supply and demand. Now, crude oil today is around almost $72 a barrel, and the all these barrels, because the oil prices, and this is after 2018, this price has come. Since 2018 the price was downtrending. Now it has again started coming up. So 72 is really a good amount. So everybody is now started doing the drilling activities. Drilling activity in the sense now the number of rigs internationally and domestically, they keep on increasing. The more number of rigs, the more demand is there for the equipment. There we come into the picture. See, when drilling activity increases, they start buying or procuring the equipment for that equipment. So we are based on that, it goes on there. And
Okay.
today in India, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So, sir, as you've been into business and you've been general manager for almost 37 years, and the inception, as I just mentioned, it goes way back to the 1960. I'm sure there would have been many instances where many decisions would have been taken on the basis of risk to expand the organization. So, Mr. Nanik, I would like to have your knowledge on risk taking in business. For that, I have a particular question. Your organization is just not limited to India and has subsidiary companies, or we can say associate companies as well across the Middle East. So you have had an expansion mindset. So how would you describe that? And why would you recommend the young generation to take the risks in business to grow exponentially? Over to you, sir.
See, first of all, the business is a risk. The more you take the risk, and then you grow according to that. If you take small risk, I mean, today, if you want to learn swimming, also you have to take a risk of jumping into the water. So this is all you have to take a risk. But how and where you are calculating the risk is important. See, it's not just taking a risk. You have to definitely do the project studies, analysis, and learn basically what will be the demand, what is current demand. All these factors you have to consider. Just taking risk is not basically right word, I would say. It is all you have to analyze. See, today's generation, everybody does takes the decision after analyzing everything, pros and cons, what will be the demand today, what is projected, what is the industry going on, then you take a risk definitely, and then you invest money, take a risk, and start basically working on that. Definitely there is a success.
All right. So we talked about risk. Now I'll talk something regarding the attention span, which has definitely reduced in today's generation and is very limited. So if they are into a business or a startup and are not getting much of a revenue, instead of adapting new ideas and not getting desired results, they tend to move on and give up easily. So what is your take on that, and how would you have reacted to a similar situation if put into?
See, today again, there are a lot of opportunities. Only thing is, as you rightly said, people are not taking the risk. Opportunities are there. You have to definitely understand there will be ups and downs. And don't expect that you are going to be millionaire overnight. It is a time process. You have to learn and you have to keep on learning experiences, whatever you are gaining it, use those experiences, and you will definitely grow it. Don't expect that you are going to have a lottery and next day you are a millionaire. The business is
Absolutely.
not that. Business is the teamwork, it's the efforts of everybody. I mean, it's not a one person, it's a family, it's a group of people who are every day working, and it's a bread and butter for all those people. So it's definitely you have to work hard and work smart too.
Absolutely. Okay. So that is definitely learning for the audience that one cannot expect to start a business and within a week's time or day's time or month's time, you cannot expect the business to excel. It takes
Yeah.
years of hard work, persistence, and application of new ideas, application of analysis, and how the market is performing to that, as Mr. Nanik rightly said. So, Mr. Nanik, as a businessman, you have now seen generations shifting from traditional business to a digital boom. So where a business which is not online has the highest probability of not keeping up with his or her competitors. So how do you relate with this situation from a
Yeah, very
traditional business to a digital boom?
yeah, very good question. I think see today everything you see is a digital. Industry or manufacturing, you also have now industry 4.0, which is the latest industrial, the technological differences, all traditional way of manufacturing or traditional way of doing the things. Now you have the industry 4.0, which is mainly the digitization of everything. All controls and everything is now smart. So people are now, when I joined, there was a telex era. Now it is a Wi-Fi era. So everything is changed, and you have to understand that it is going to be changed. So you don't have to be remaining the working on the traditional way. You have to upgrade yourself. You have to upgrade your systems. You have to upgrade your teams.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it has Parveen industry also gone digital from the previous things which were going on traditionally?
Oh, sure, definitely. See, we used to have the manual lathe machines. Now everything is now computerized CNC machines, we call it. And in computerized CNC machines also, now you have the versions, latest versions, and then Industry 4.0 compliant. And I think there we see people were having one manual machine, and people used to work with their own hands. Now everything is computer, I mean the CNC machines. Now there won't be any smallest shop having no CNC machine, because you have to compete internationally. You are not competing with your basically next door neighbor. You are competing with the
Absolutely.
international suppliers and your main companies or competitors, like we call it as a China. You have to learn a
Okay.
lot from China, because if they can do it, why not we? If you take that
Absolutely.
attitude, definitely you can improve and achieve that this thing. It is definitely going to take time, but you have to learn from the people. If somebody, all human beings are there. See, those human beings can do it. Why our human beings cannot do it? It's matter of
Hmm.
motivation and matter of understanding and adapting to the techniques.
Okay. That was a good perspective from your end that you have moved from the manual leg machines to CNC machines. Similarly, I think many of the industries have adopted to a similar situation. So,
Sorry.
coming on to the next point, sir, do you think a young mind can learn from the experiences of someone, or will you give importance to a person having their own journey?
See, first of all, definitely why the books are made. The books are made to basically learn from their experiences. You don't have to invent wheel again. See, you have to learn from the earlier experiences people have done in their life. So that is the first of all the experience. Number two is basically whatever you are working in any field, it should be a passion. It should not be a 10 to 6 job. You have to work as a passion, as a part of your business. You have to learn that even if you are employed, you are a businessman. You are a profit center. You have to learn and work with your own satisfaction. You don't expect definitely awards and rewards. Those will come when people evaluate in different ways. But the reward or award is every day what you get while sleeping. So it should be a self satisfaction, self motivation type of things.
Okay, so sir, what do you think? Do you move according to a 5-year plan? If you do, so what is your thinking? How will you think to expand over the 5 years in the Parveen industry, and how will you expand the same globally over the next 5 years? What is your next 5-year plan, basically?
See, next 5 year plan, definitely everybody will think that when you are working for an organization, everybody thinks that I need better, let's say, increments, or better whatever I'm getting it today, I should get much more after 5 years. From where that money has to come? Money has to come from same resources what you are having it. So you have to see that how efficiently you work on the existing resources, so that you multiply or you add on your profits and add on your, let's say, volumes. Then only the people, whoever they have the expectations, definitely you are going to share with them. So it's you have to definitely plan ahead. You have to plan for diversification. You have to plan for different avenues. You have to plan for different, let's say, regions, different products. So that way you have to keep on adding your, let's say, volume of the business or turnover of the business. So that definitely you have to plan very nicely and execute according to that. You
All
will
right, so it
definitely.
is all about.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, please, sir, please. I was
Yeah,
just
if you
summarizing a
are,
point.
yeah, then you see whatever you are achieving or you are planning it or you are setting your targets, you are not going to basically execute 100%. But even if you execute, let's say, 80% of that, 70% of that, it is basically a success for the business or success for the industry.
Absolutely. So your main agenda revolves around is planning and execution, and it needs not to be 100% execution. Even it is around 80% of it.
You
We
start at least,
definitely,
start somewhere. Yeah, start
yeah,
somewhere. See, once you do the beginning, definitely not today, tomorrow you are going to achieve that.
absolutely. So it is like aiming for the moon and landing up in the stars.
Exactly.
Right. So, sir, as you have so many years of experience, what would you put on to the young generation or the young blood who are just moving on to the side of business or who are moving into the startups? What will be your words of wisdom for them?
See, first of all, whatever you are doing it in your life, you should do it with your heart. Don't do it just sake of pressure or sake of doing it. If you are doing anything in your life, do it with your heart. You be self satisfied, self motivated, learn from the people around you, make a mentor. So then you are going to definitely success in your life and success in your business. But you have to definitely work with your hands. Don't feel that you are going to sit in a AC office and do the business. You have to be a blue collar job. You have to work with your own hands. Do as much as you possible so you gain more and more experience on that.
All right. So what I have learned from your words is that initially, as a business owner or as a startup or as an entrepreneur, everyone has worked at a point where with one मतलब जहाँ पे एक जब हमारा टीम का पहला मेंबर आता है हम उसके साथ उस लेवल पे काम कर चुके हैं तभी हम उस रैंक तक पहुंचे हैं जहाँ पे हम
Exactly.
मिलियनेयर या बिलियनेयर बन सकें.
Yeah, you should have the feeling. See, you consider yourself whether you are a owner or employed or worker or helper. You shall first of all be in their chair or be in their post or their let's say position, and then think what will be there. Then it will be very easy for you to understand their problems and their solutions for that. So it is a feeling. See, unless you have the feeling of those people, because people are this industry is governed by the people. You have whatever latest CNC machines and other machines, but if you have no capable people, the CNC machines are useless. They can't work by themselves. You need a good people
Absolutely.
motivated for that.
All right. So this has been a wonderful session, and we have definitely gained a lot of knowledge from your experience and from your way of working. And I hope many of the viewers will adapt to your point and your knowledge and your wisdom shared with us today. Anything in the end you'd like to add on, sir?
So first of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I would
Most welcome, sir.
all suggest the new generation, young generation, to work very hard. Understand that first of all, the India is the now next point where there will be a lot of growth. People, Modi ji, our Prime Minister, is now encouraging the Atmanirbharta and other things. So that is definitely going to give the rewards for the people. So people don't have to, they have to keep on working hard and take whatever the government is giving us a lot of support, take advantage of that and do your best.
All right. That was an absolute wonderful session, and thank you so much for joining, sir. We hope you enjoyed your time with us, and we hope to keep you inviting you for further sessions as well. Thank you for your time, and
Thank
thank you
you.
everyone for joining.
Thank you so much once again. Bye bye.